What's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are gonna go over the first 5 modifications that the all-new 2023 Nissan Z is going to need. Now, this has actually been kind of a difficult video to come up with because there's only 2 things that really are gonna make the performance just that much better. And then some of them are more of style and just a way to get a little bit more fun factor out of it. So with that said, first and foremost, the first mod this car needs is better suspension. Now, in a previous video, I mentioned how I think the ride quality is fantastic. It's comfortable and smooth on the softer end, still handles really well. However, if you do want this car to be just that extra step up for pinpointy handling, really back and forth, quick turns in the mountains on the track, you're gonna wanna upgrade it. So I think a quality set of lowering springs is gonna be the first step to get that ride, and then probably coilovers to really fine tune it. I'm planning to do some lowering springs as soon as I possibly can when I take delivery of my own Z, and then probably upgrade from there to go coilover to get a fully customizable suspension to make it a little bit more hardcore of a car. It's really good in the stock form. It's a great balance. I really can't complain. But if you're buying this as a true performance sports car, you kind of want that extra harsh ride. So upgrading the suspension is going to do a lot. On top of that, it's going to make it look a lot better. Now, it does look amazing. I think this is a flawless looking exterior. However, there is so much wheel gap. I mean, there is like 2 inches in the back and up in front. Same sort of deal. So I think dropping the car's ride height at least 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inches, I think is gonna do a lot to really give it that good stance. It has a really wide look to it, but just that wheel gap, we gotta lower this thing just a little bit and also get that little bit firmer ride. Number 2 on the list for a modification this thing needs is an upgraded exhaust. So it's kind of funky how the exhaust looks. The muffler is more of like a sound chamber or something. It is unlike anything I've seen. You can see how it's dual exhaust, and then it kind of splits to where it's really just the sound going into it, but the exhaust gas really just goes out of it. So really unique. On top of that, in the middle of the car, from the dual exhaust, it does go into one pipe. So that's a little bit of a restriction. And I think when you open this thing up, it is gonna sound so good. The stock sound is all right. Higher RPM, it kind of just sounds like wind. And if I look at my Nissan GTR bone stock, it kind of sounded the same. It didn't just have that good tone. Straight pipe, my car sounds insane. So I feel like this is gonna sound like a baby GTR when it has a full exhaust. And just add that fun factor. It has a good enough sound stock, but once you put a full system to where it just has so much emotion to the way it sounds, that really makes the car more fun and feel even quicker. So an exhaust system is definitely number 2. I cannot wait to do at least a swapped out muffler or something first, and then upgrade the rest of the exhaust all the way up to the turbos and make this thing scream. So number 1 and number 2 were really my only true things that this car needs to be modified to be a better car. I think that's gonna make it handle better and more pinpointy, and then just have the sound to make it just sound freaking awesome. So number 3 again is not something that it actually needs, but I think will also add to the fun factor, which is upgrading the air intakes. Now, my Nissan GTR, twin turbo engine of course, when you do the intakes on it, you hear all the turbo noise, the blow off, the induction, and this car, you don't hear any turbo noises stock. Having a turbocharged car to me is so much fun because they make such unique sounds that you don't get elsewhere, and you don't hear a single any hint that this is turboed. So I think with an upgraded air intake system, even though that's probably not gonna add any horsepower, it's probably not gonna give you any cooler air, I think it's just gonna make it sound so much better and add the drama to it. And with tuning, I'm sure it'll make the turbos work a little bit more efficient and add horsepower once tuned. But even in the stock configurations, I'm sure new intakes will come out very shortly since it's basically the same platform as the Q60. But upgraded intake system on a turbo car makes it just wake up with the drama. So then number 4 on the list, again, we're not really into things that are such necessities, but number 4 is a wider set of wheels. Now, I get this has to comply with certain regulations. That's why, there's gonna be things that are the way they are. And I do love the wheels. The Performance Z gets a really good set of 19 split spoke, dark gray. I mean, I have no issue with the design. However, with that wheel gap from the first point, the suspension, on top of that, the wheels really stick inside. You can probably get a good look from right there, but they are way up inside, and they could certainly poke out a little bit more to give this car that stance. In person, the Z is a really low and wide looking car, and I cannot imagine how much better this is gonna look when all that crazy wheel gap, and how stuck inside those wheels are, is gone, to where you have nice flush fit wheels, lowered stance. I think that's gonna make the car just look that much better and be a next level up. Yeah, as you can see up front, we got the same thing going on. They're just so inside, like what the heck? And again, I know they have to do this for regulations, but even a high quality set of wheel spacers I think will really make it look good if you're gonna be a little bit more hardcore with your driving style. Of course, a wider wheel with proper offset is gonna set this thing off. I'm of course planning to do upgraded wheels and suspension on my own car, and I think, like, I can't imagine how much better it's gonna look. On my Supra, I did the same thing, and it just takes it to the next level. Lower the car an inch, make the wheels wider an inch, and it just makes it perfect. So then that brings us to point number 5, the 5th modification that the new Z is gonna need. And this one took me a while to come up with because I ran out. I had nothing else that I thought it needed. So with that said, number 5 is gonna be engine tuning. To be honest, this car doesn't need to be any faster. I know some people are gonna complain and say it's slower than a Supra, slower than a GT Mustang. It doesn't feel slow. It is a quick car. Those cars are obviously quick cars as well, and it's not even built as a drag car. It's a very well balanced car, and I'm really impressed with how smooth the power delivery is. But with that, since it has 400 horsepower, 350 torque, the fact that we have more horsepower than torque stock, I think that means when this car is gonna be tuned, it is gonna pull. It is just gonna keep pulling hard to redline and really have one of these smoothest power deliveries out there and pack a punch. I bet you tuned, this is gonna make at least well over 500 horsepower to the wheels and just be so much power and so smooth. My Nissan GTR, same sort of deal. More horsepower than torque, and with it tuned, everything is just faster. It pulls and pulls and pulls to redline, and I think this is gonna have that baby GTR type of power plant. And like I said, stock, it rips. It's fun to drive. I have no complaints with the power, but tuned, it is just gonna open it up to be that much better. So there you have it, 5 mods, the first 5 mods I think every new Z owner is gonna wanna do on their car to take it to the next level. I think Nissan has given us a really good base platform, and I'm excited to take delivery of my car later in the year. Those 5 mods are gonna really take this thing up. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.